I put equal money aside for college and cars for both my son and stepdaughter, but my son also gets support from his bio mom. So when my stepdaughter took his keys without permission and drove off, my wife thinks he should apologize for retrieving his own vehicle. Posted by u/fituse9417. I have a son, Max, 18M, with my ex and a stepdaughter, Kelly, 21F. My wife, Jamie, and I share a daughter, 7F. Since we got married 8 years ago, I have put equal amounts of money for college and towards things like a car for Max and Kelly. The amount I saved was enough for Kelly to live at home and go to a local state school. The amount I put away for a car was just enough to buy a very old used car that would run, but not much more. While I have put equal money away for them both over the last 8 years, Max also has access to money from my ex and my ex's parents. So, he got a brand new full-sized SUV when he turned 16. His mom paid for it and it is in her name. She also pays the insurance. In the fall, he will be going to college out in California. We live in the Midwest. He has also been across the world with his mom. Kelly wants to travel, but does not have the money to do so. Because of these things, there has been some jealousy from my stepdaughter towards my son. Additionally, Kelly has a set of 6 friends who she has been close to the whole 10 years I have known her. Early last week, I was out of town for work. Jamie, with our youngest, was visiting her sister. Kelly and Max were the only people at home. The youngest of Kelly's close friend group, who also recently got engaged, Annie, turned 21 last week. A lot of them were only in town through last week because they are starting internships this week. The group wanted to get together and celebrate Annie's birthday and engagement. Kelly asked to use Max's car so they could be in one vehicle for the night. Kelly said she would not be drinking and would be the designated driver. Max told her no. Max usually goes to bed around 9:30ish. He went to bed, and Kelly took his keys and took the car. Around midnight, he woke up to use the bathroom and saw the car was gone. He got on the app and saw the location of the car. He got his spare keys, took an Uber to the location, got in the car and drove it home. A couple of hours later, Kelly called Max frantic. She told him the car might have been stolen. One of the other girls was on the phone with the police. Max told her, "No, the car is at home." He came and got it. She then said, "How is she supposed to get home?" He told her that was for her to figure out and hung up. Kelly does not use rideshare because of a creepy experience a couple of years ago that has left her a bit traumatized. Kelly called Jamie and told her about the situation. Jamie called Max and demanded he pick up Kelly. He refused. Jamie called me and told me about the situation and told me to make Max pick her up. I told her Max is in the right and I am not going to make him pick her up. Kelly got home, but it took an hour of calling around so everyone could be picked up. When my wife and I got back home a few days later, we had a family discussion about it. Jamie asked that both Kelly and Max apologize to each other. Max refused because he did nothing wrong. Kelly got upset and said Max gets everything while she gets nothing. I told Kelly that if she feels what her mother and I have worked and sacrificed to give her is nothing, she is free to not take our money to pay tuition in the fall and she can move out at any time. Jamie is angry at me and thinks I need to make Max apologize and I need to apologize to Kelly for what I said. I refuse. Am I the jerk? Relevant comments. Commenter 1, info, do you know what story Kelly spun to Jamie about the car? Get to the bottom of that, first. OP, I know what she told her. All the facts are agreed to by Max and Kelly. This is not a situation where Max is saying one thing and Kelly is saying another. OP responds to a downvoted comment on having Max's car at his ex's house since the car is under the ex-wife's name and deal with the consequences. OP, why would I tell my son that he cannot have his car at the house? If Kelly can have her car at the house, so can Max. This incident is not a consequence of them having different cars. It is a consequence of Kelly acting way out of line. This would be like me banning Kelly from having alcohol in the house because Max cannot have it. I gave them each the exact same amount of money for a car. OP responds to another downvoted commenter on why Max was having a better car. OP, as someone who grew up on food stamps, I consider it incredibly strange to think walking away from a good 4-year without debt is nothing. That is insane. I am the first person with a high school diploma in my bloodline. Regarding Max, in order to get his car, he had to meet a bevy of conditions regarding grades, volunteering, working, extracurriculars, chores, etc. In order to keep it, he had to meet additional conditions. Regarding him going to college, his mom gave him a list of 30 colleges for which she would pay for. He got into multiple of such schools and is going to one of them in California. Everything Max has gotten from his mom has come with a number of conditions. Everything Max and Kelly have received from my wife and I has not. He has had to do a lot to get the things he has. Where is Kelly's father in all of this? What about Kelly's extended family members who can help with Kelly's funds? OP, her dad is in and out of rehab or jail and has been the whole time I have been around. He grew up in foster care. My wife's parents are retired teachers and live on a tight budget. So, in terms of financial contribution, they do not have much to give. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. So, really, if I did not put money aside for Kelly, she would not have many options to pay for school other than student loans. And she would be limited in loans she could get because my income is fairly high and would have been included on the FAFSA application. Commenter 2, NTA. I think Max's mother should be involved. She pays the insurance and probably has her and Max's name on it. You said there has been some jealousy, so which probably means that Kelly treats Max bad. Max does not need to apologize because he did nothing wrong. Get Max a lockbox so his keys won't be stolen again. OP, I didn't put it in the post, but I told her that if she ever does something like this again, it will be a call to the police and she will be kicked out of the house, no questions asked. I did not put it in the post because those are conditions that Jamie agrees with me on, so it is not part of the conflict. Commenter 3, it's interesting she agrees with that but doesn't think her entitled 21-year-old adult should apologize for stealing someone's vehicle. Not only should she make her apologize, she should make her thank your son for not reporting his vehicle stolen. She should also be thanking you for paying for her daughter and providing for her when she thinks so lowly of your son and you allow it. OP, she does think Kelly should apologize. And Kelly has apologized. The conflict is over whether Max should apologize to Kelly. Everyone agrees Kelly should apologize to Max, including Kelly. OP clarifies on how Max and Kelly receive treatments and things from their families. OP, how has he been treated differently by me? I cannot nor should I dictate what his mom can or cannot do for him. And they both have been spoiled. Kelly has received things from my wife's family to the exclusion of Max. There was a while early in our marriage where Kelly's dad had some money and bought her a number of very nice things, diamond earrings, a $1,000 purse, etc. I did not interfere with that. On the rare occasion he has paid child support, that money has gone directly to Kelly. Heck, the reason I have been able to save as much as I have for Kelly is because Max's mom gifted me the house in the divorce. So Kelly has tangentially benefited from her generosity. Plus, all of the things Max gets from my ex come with a number of conditions. He does not get them automatically. OP on the living situation with Jamie and Kelly, we did not move into Kelly's space. Kelly moved into ours. Max had a bedroom and a separate room for all his games and toys. He had to give up his game or toy room and that became Kelly's room. I spoke to Max and Jamie spoke to Kelly long before we got married and made sure they were okay with everything. Update, 2.5 weeks later. A couple of days ago, Kelly asked Max to use his car to pick up a TV she had bought. Before the incident in the original post, on a few occasions, Max had used his car to help Kelly transport something. Max refused Kelly's request and told her he will not be helping with things like that in the future. Kelly talked to Jamie. Jamie just matter-of-factly told Kelly that this was a consequence of her actions that she needed to learn to deal with. That went over about as well as a lead balloon. Kelly got angry at Jamie and said she is moving out and she does not need our money. Jamie said she was being incredibly ungrateful and selfish. But told her she was free to leave. So Kelly is planning on being gone by July 1st. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. I still can't get over the fact that this brat stole your son's car, then when he took it back her and her mother somehow thought he was the bad guy. OP, you were NTA in the first post and you're NTA now. I am curious though, what brought on the change from your wife? OP, I think people got the wrong impression. Jamie always thought Kelly was wrong. She backed me up when I told Kelly if she ever does something like that again, police will be called and she will be kicked out of the house. She thinks Max still should have picked Kelly up. It is not because she thinks what Kelly and Max did are equivalent, but she felt they both did something wrong, even if Max's actions were only slightly wrong in her mind. She thinks Kelly's actions are egregious, but Max still should have picked her up and was in the wrong for not doing so. Commenter 2, ask your wife why she didn't call a taxi to take all the young women home? A taxi isn't a rideshare. A taxi driver is a licensed professional working for a local business. That's why they're more expensive. Why didn't your wife insist that her daughter contact parents of the other 6 girls to come and get them? Neither one of you has a single adult friend who would have picked them up as a favor? Your wife's critical thinking skills are lacking. I hope just here and that this is not a pattern with her. Because she comes across as brainless in your post. Though that would explain where her daughter gets it from. Her inability to think of some very obvious solutions are not your son's problem. OP, our local taxi service isn't 24-hour and this was about 2:30 a.m. on a weekday. Plus, Kelly is uncomfortable about using any service where someone, usually a man, would be driving her around. One of the other girls' parents did come get some of them and some of them got rides from a friend. Why didn't OP or Jamie get up and get Kelly home? OP, neither Jamie nor I were home.